G'day everyone, this is ThatDamnAussie for the first of my Scars of Mirrodin sealed videos. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I've been busy with other things like going to GP Sydney and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I've done about, this is like my 11th Scars of Mirrodin sealed for this format, so I know it pretty well. Anyway, let's have a look at what our rares are so we can sort of see what we can build. So Platinum Empyrean, Tempered Steel, Mimic, Vat, and Etched Champion are all extremely playable. We don't have any other, insane rares that we know we can build our deck around. However, now that we know we have the Tempered Steel, we can sort of plan around a very artifact heavy Metalcraft deck, probably splashing because they're all just absolutely insane. I mean, having 3 of this guy, pretty good. Volition Reigns is, as you would expect, absolutely insane. But on the plus side, our white does have Razor Hippogriff, Dispense Justice, 2 Sun Chasers, Glinthawk, and Galma's Warden. Now, from my experience, this format can be very, very fast depending on how you build your deck. And if we go for the aggressive white-red Metalcraft deck, we can go Rusted Relic, Steeds, Tumble Magnet, and then we can fill up with Darksteel Axe, Origin Spell Bomb, Staff, Contagion Clasp, and then any number of Mia. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to play with this guy, but I would assume that he is insane if he hits the table. However, I might end up cutting him because of how the deck is looking. So, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 artifacts. Probably want to get that count up a little bit higher. So we've got some blue and black mirrors. We've got 2 iron mirrors and a green mirror. Also got Spell Bomb, Silvark Replica, which is just nuts. As well as Barbed Battle Gear, Throne of Geth, but I don't like that in a non-infect deck. Trigon Amending is terrible. Trigon Infestation, we're not infect, so it's not that good. So, I can't see us playing Genesis Wave if we don't have enough stuff to do with it. A deck very much like this one is what I won my GP trial with in the GP Sydney coverage. If you have a look at that, number 5 is the one I won. Kind of like this, except I had a better endgame bomb. But still, I was rather happy with it. So, Tempered Steel is going to pump up our Mir from the Spell Bomb, our Mana Mirs and the Perilous Mir, the Etched Champion, not Tumble Magnet, obviously, Chrome Steeds, Rusted Relic if we get it turn it into a dude, and Platinum Empyrean. Now, a lot of people are sort of advocating the more guys you play, the more mana you play, the less land you can play. I still like playing, 16 land in this format. I mean, this deck can definitely support 16 land considering how low curve it is. We've got some sweet removal. It's a shame we don't have any like revoke existences or anything like that. But still sort of take what you can get, I guess. Other cards that are really good. In fact, most of this red is pretty solid. When we're always going to have artifacts that we're willing to fling, such as like an expanded Tumble Magnet. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to play with Mimic Vat, but it is essentially the nuts. Semblance Anvil is terrible. I don't know why anyone thinks it's good. Ecoclawmere He's a bit of a dark horse, but he can be potentially very strong with something like Tempered Steel. A lot of other people just don't pay any sort of attention to this, one infect guy that's getting in for, one poison counter when all these other guys are coming in that are 3/3s and are threatening to put, them into the ground a lot faster. So, still got 14 minutes left on the thing, so let's have a look at some other potential builds. So we've got our Volition Rains, Invisimancers, Trinket Mage gets a fair amount of stuff, which I'm quite happy with. Surtak is very strong, Stoke Rebuttal. So if we wanted to play something like a blue-red build, we could cut the white, have 4 mana mirror in the deck, and then play something like this, which I still not exactly a fan of. Life stuff goes down in value in this build. Can't really play Steady Progress. Halt Order is a sideboard card, but it's nothing spectacular. But I still think it's viable. I mean, in both versions of the deck, the red is just a very light splash, very heavy on everything else. Invisimancer probably isn't as good as I thought it was. It does allow you to sort of swing in with 4/4s and 5/5s rather quickly, but all in all, it is taking up space, and if I did cut something, that would be the first to cut. This is going to be counter-spell most of the time in our deck. This is just the nuts. I mean, in this sort of format, there's no reason why you can't sort of play a 3-color build. But I did that in the GP itself. I decided I would play 3 colors just so I could take advantage of having a Skithrix and a Geth in my deck, and it just absolutely screwed my mana base up something shocking, and it came back to bite me in the bum during the actual event, which was kind of a shame, but these things happen when you make dodgy decisions. So let's put everything back in and see if we can't sort of come up with a solid 3-color build. Surtak is very strong if you haven't had a chance to play with it in a solid Metalcraft deck. If we're going to go more control-y, I don't like Linthawk. I mean, as good as it is, resetting Tumble Magnet and all those sort of things, it's really not worth it. Contagion Clasp, just kill target Mia, and then, if you happen to have some counter abuse, you can do that. The Trinket Mage, if we decide to go with a 3-color build, definitely has some solid targets, getting Origin Spellbomb to draw cards, or to get Darksteel Axe to just power up our guys, or even Silver Glystaff to thin our deck. And it's a pretty solid equipment on its own. I definitely think we still want to be playing sort of 16 land in this build, even if we do decide to go, again, 3-color and have lots of things. Although, the longer I look at it, the more I think we're sort of better off just running possibly a splash for these 3 cards, and then just leaving out the Sun Chasers and the Galma's Warden altogether, because since we're cutting everything else. Dispense Justice is very strong, especially with Metalcraft going. we've got some very solid guys to get back with Razor Hippogriff. Plus our mana isn't going to be too bad considering we've got double Mir, double blue Mir in our base blue deck. And plus our red splash is going to be very light on anyway. So 17 artifacts so far. We've still got to cut 7 cards from the build. So I definitely think that's one of the weakest cards in the deck to go. I do like Darksteel Axe on Ika does sort of put your opponent in a very sort of scary position. If they try and do anything, Ika just goes big and gets them. I'm not too concerned with the number of high drops in the deck, although probably as much as I want to play all 3 of these guys, I'm pretty sure I can't. Just to keep, because the format is very aggressive. This thing is just absurd. And it's a good thing we've got like plenty of removal to help, help support it. They declare attackers, you dispense justice, they sacrifice a guy, you put it under the Mimic Vat, you play the Mimic Vat to put the card you just killed into play. It's just absurd. While this pool isn't, extremely heavy on the expensive cards, like in terms of money, the pool is pretty good. And I'm definitely happy to have it. So now it's just a matter of cutting it down in the time we have. I mean, Etched Champion doesn't do much on his own, but, if you give him protection from everything and you put a Darksteel Axe on him, you are finishing them off very quickly. I think we sort of really can't cut Tempered Steel just because of the sheer number of artifact guys we have. 6 Mir champion steeds. It's just insane. So we're gonna cut probably one of these guys. Platinum Empyrean, as good as he is, I think he's just too expensive. If we need to, we can always side him in. Actually, I think the more I look at this, the more just playing the most aggressive deck possible from the pool is the right call. That still means he's going to stay out of the deck. The Mirs are going to stay out of the deck, which is a shame because I do like blue, especially this blue. I mean, we've got some sweet cards here, but I just don't think it's powerful enough. We can definitely play 16 land with what we've got here. Probably go a bit lighter on the red now though, because we've got 2 Mir here. I mean, if we can always sideboard into a slower deck if we would come up against it, but I think what we've got here is perfectly acceptable. So I'm going to add some land, and we'll see how we go.